So the question is God a man or a woman? I've been talking about the 7 Hermetic principles, which is the 7 universal laws that govern our reality. So to understand whether or not God is a man or a female, you would have to first understand the law of gender. Everything has a divine feminine and divine masculine principle. Understand that divine feminine and divine masculine alone does not mean male or female. Divine masculine and a divine feminine principle is functions of nature. It's energy, and it is the way in which our reality was created. It's the way in which you yourself have been created. Now, let's for a minute deal with the concept of God. God can have attributes of us, of how we manifest in this physical world, without being one of us. In fact, God is not a being, but a function. God is the sauce that permeates everything. God is the creative mind, the infinite source of all, the consciousness that is over all consciousness. God is over the eternal as well as the fleeting. It is the fabrics that make your mental processes as well as the fabrics that make your physical process. It's beyond actualization, it's beyond rationalization, it's beyond what we can perceive in this 3D world. Now, the divine feminine principle sits at the seat, right? And through that divine feminine principles, it created itself, a mirror reflection of itself. And when you see yourself in the mirror, you're looking at it as an opposite. So it created a mirror reflection of itself in its opposite. As it went through and created out of itself, the divine masculine force then took over and then proceeded to start to shape and form everything that you see around you. And then this process continued and just repeated itself. So the divine feminine principle is first, and then out of the divine feminine principle comes the divine masculine principle. And that is the divine masculine principle is the one that goes forth into action to duplicate what had already been started from the divine feminine principle and then create what you see in your everyday world. God sits above and beyond that, looking down on it. In fact, God is the one that brought it into existence. What is the it? The law of gender. The infinite mind of God that created stands on the outside of it and projects that function into creation so that it can continue to create what it had already started. To call something men and women or male and female, whatever, is to look at it in its most densest, most physical, most lowest vibratory form. God is not both. He's neither nor. The true concept of God is something that sits outside of it. And all that is projected inside is what it. But the divine feminine and divine masculine is two sides of the same coin, manifested different as in different aspects of the divine on the physical and spiritual plane. As the divine sits above it all, watching it go into play, watching it create, because that's what it intended for it to do.